YouTubers, it's your crazy British bloke here. Well, I tell you what, last weekend I was down at the farm and there was a few tubers down there. Well, some I've not even seen before, and I think these two tubers, don't know what their name was, they came from the other side of Ottawa. Anyhow, we was down there and we was just sat there, we was chewing the fat and having a little bit of a talk and that, and we was talking about different vehicles and cars and stuff like that, you know, around the farm and everything. And they were saying about they'd seen some video on YouTube, and it was about a couple of guys that had a some sort of racing car thing. I don't know exactly what it was, but they'd gone to some scrapyard somewhere and they bought themselves a turbo unit, but it was off a train. Can you imagine how big it was? And they were saying it was like enormous. This thing was enormous. So anyhow, they fitted it, they made a bracketry up and everything, and they fitted it on this car, okay, and they started this car up, and it was only on tick over, and there was so much boost, right, it blew both the head gaskets and everything else in the engine. It was only on tick over. Anyhow, that's sort of part of the story. So it got me thinking about when I was young again, right? When I was back in England, okay, I lived in that little village, as I've told you before. My dad was into radio modelling, and we used to go off to these radio modelling exhibitions. It was great. He used to fly planes around and everything, right? Anyhow, we was down at one of these radio modelling exhibitions. I don't know, but I think it was a place called Kempton Park, which was a horse racing place where they used to race horses and everything, yeah, and bet on it and everything. Anyhow, so we went down there and there was lots of stuff going on, and we got a program, and in the program it said that a couple of times through the day they was going to run this special car that they had there, right? So I made my dad take me down and have a look at it, because, like, you know, all YouTubers that are into cars and motors and stuff like that, right, you know, at a young age you'll right in that sort of stuff. So anyhow, we went down, we had a look at it, and what it was a Jensen Interceptor, right? Jensen Interceptor. Now, they were really a good car, real classic car in them days. They had a massive hood on the front of them, right? And I think they had a V12 in them, I'm not quite sure. And I think they were in a few films, maybe around the 60s time, I'm not quite sure. Anyhow, they had this one here, right, and it had a Merlin Spitfire engine in it, out of a Merlin Spitfire, what was in the war in England, you know, one of the Spitfires, yeah. So it amazed me, absolutely amazed me. As being a young kid, it was fantastic. So anyhow, I bugged my dad and we had to go down and see it. Anyhow, it ran at this certain time, and they ran it on this tarmac, and basically all they did is start it up, hell of a noise, absolutely fantastic, and they ran it along in a stand right to the other end on the tarmac, and then they reversed it back, right, and it was fantastic. I didn't see the second run because there was too much going on, right. Anyhow, well, when my dad and everything looking at his planes, that's what he was into. So, you know, tubes, you never know what's going to come up. You talk to one tuber, okay, and all of a sudden it takes you back to where you were when you was a kid. It's amazing. Anyhow, tubes, what I'm saying is, I've looked on the internet, you know, I'm not no guru on the internet. I know a lot of YouTubers are really good and you can find things, but I tell you what, I'd love to find, there must be some sort of stuff on a tube of that car, right? Now you got to remember, it was probably in 1969, 1970, around there, maybe 72 or 73, somewhere around there, and it was, I think it was a race course called Kempton Park, and the car was a Jensen Interceptor with a Merlin Spitfire engine in it. Now, if any of you YouTubers can find anything, film wise or pictures, you know, I'd love to see it. I really would. It would take me right back to my childhood. It really would. Anyhow, tubes, that's about all I've got to say really about that one. But you never know. You talk to someone and up it comes every single time. Anyhow, tubes, keep it peeled. I'll talk to you soon.